If you're around 30 years old and your finances feel confusing, you're not failing. You're experiencing friction. You earn money, you work hard, but at the end of the month, your account keeps resetting to zero. Not panic, not disaster, just confusion. And today, we're going to explain why that happens. If you value calm, clear thinking about money, like this video and subscribe to Monivex. This channel is about clarity, not noise. Here's the real starting point. Most people think money problems begin with spending. They don't. They begin with timing. You entered adulthood at a moment when prices had already moved up, wages hadn't caught up, expectations stayed the same. You were taught one financial story and placed into a completely different reality. When the story doesn't match the environment, people blame themselves. They shouldn't. Why effort isn't enough anymore? Imagine two people. One starts working in the 1990s, the other after 2015. Same effort, same intelligence, very different outcomes. Why? Because housing rose faster than income. Education became more expensive. Stable career paths became rare. This isn't opinion, it's arithmetic. When costs rise faster than pay, discipline alone can't close the gap. Why advice feels broken? This is why common advice feels unhelpful. Save more, cut expenses, just invest. All of it assumes one thing: extra money exists. But if your income is fully consumed by necessities, there is nothing to optimize. At that point, budgeting maintains survival. It doesn't create progress. That's why so many people feel stuck. The variable that actually matters. The factor that changes outcomes isn't motivation, it's distance. The distance between what you earn and what you need to live. When that distance is small, stress is constant. When it grows, options appear. Monivex calls this distance margin. Margin is not luxury. Margin is oxygen. Why your 30s matter. Your 30s aren't about catching up. They're about stabilizing the system. By now, you've learned what work drains you, what skills you're good at, which expenses don't actually improve your life. That awareness is valuable. The goal at this stage isn't sudden wealth. It's durability. A life that doesn't collapse under small shocks. The margin method, Monivex framework. Here's the practical part. For the next phase of your life, focus on 3 priorities in order. First, increase income intelligently. Not harder work, higher value work. Skills that travel, skills that compound. Second, hold lifestyle steady while income rises. Not forever, just long enough for margin to grow. Third, direct the margin deliberately. Reduce fragile debt, build a small buffer, and then allow compounding to begin. This order matters. Most people reverse it and stay stuck. Income is the engine. Think of your finances like a vehicle. Spending control is the steering wheel, saving is the brakes, but income is the engine. Many people are trying to steer a car with an engine that's simply too weak. That's not a character flaw, it's a mechanical problem. If income can't outpace basic costs, discipline alone won't create progress. The priority in your 30s isn't perfection, it's power. Why raises rarely change anything? Waiting for raises rarely works. Most raises protect companies, not workers. A 3% raise maintains the status quo. It doesn't increase freedom. Real income growth usually comes from role changes, employer changes, skill repositioning, responsibility expansion. It's uncomfortable. That's why it works. Lifestyle freezing clarified. Lifestyle freezing isn't deprivation, it's delay. You're not saying never, you're saying not yet. When income rises and lifestyle immediately upgrades, margin stays flat. Monivex thinking is simple. Income moves first, lifestyle follows later. That single rule changes everything. Why ego is expensive. Ego doesn't show up on bank statements, but it shows up as unnecessary upgrades, social comparison spending, image-based decisions. Ego wants success to look good now. Financial stability is built quietly. Most strong financial positions look boring. That's not failure, that's focus. Fragility versus resilience. Most people think poverty is the enemy. It's not. Fragility is. Fragility means one emergency causes panic, one missed paycheck creates fear, one mistake resets everything. Resilience is the opposite. Resilience is quiet confidence. That's the real goal of this decade. Small wins beat big plans. Progress doesn't require drama, it requires movement. A 10% income increase is progress. A frozen expense line is progress. A $1,000 buffer is progress. Momentum builds confidence. Confidence fuels action. The shift that changes everything. Stop asking, why am I behind? Start asking, what system am I running? Systems produce outcomes. Change the system, the outcome follows. Blame slows learning. Clarity speeds it up. What to do this month? Not next year, not someday, this month. Identify one higher value skill, improve it consistently. Avoid lifestyle upgrades tied to income. Track margin, not just spending. That's enough. Consistency beats complexity. Closing thought. If your finances feel confusing, that doesn't mean you failed. It means you're learning how the system actually works. Learning comes first, leverage comes next, freedom follows. If this brought clarity, like this video so others can find it. Subscribe to Monivex for calm, practical financial thinking. Watch the next video on your screen.